how excited are you for Zach Thomas? I said to Crowder today, I don't want to. All of a sudden, it's Friday and Saturday, and we haven't talked about it enough. Zach Thomas going into the Hall of Fame on Saturday. You played with him, and you've obviously consorted with him here in South Florida since you guys have been done playing. How excited are you, and how deserving is he of the honor he's going to get on Saturday?
I'm extremely excited. It's one of the things, honestly, that I have to be at. My wife and I were going to fly up there on Friday, and I had to change my schedule, move things out of the way because, the impact that he had on South Florida football and the Miami Dolphins, for me, I need to see him get his flowers. I think the world of him. I mean, the impact that he has on my life, and I don't even know if I've really told him. I mean, he transformed my life. My second year at the Miami Dolphins, where he went down and I had an opportunity to start. They reshuffled everything, and I was going to start. I remember him saying, "Hey, Twan, I'm come see me in the morning. I'm gonna be breaking down some film." Now he's hurt, so I came in the morning thinking we're going to watch film like I always watch it. I watch what's going on. I analyze it. I make a couple of notes. But he taught me how to prepare. He taught me how to dissect and analyze the game, how to take notes, and by the process of unearthing what's going on film, I learned the game of football. I was able to dissect it in a completely different way. What he did, and one thing I noticed, he would say, okay, if they get in that formation, they're going to do one of these 5 things. So if the team lined up and they could do 8 things, well, 4 or 5 of them he had already dissected, so he could limit it down to 3. He could say, okay, these 5 things are not going to happen, or these 6 things are not going to happen. So one of these things are going to happen, while everybody else is thinking, okay, these 8 things may happen. Well, he's already decided because of his film study, because of the formation, because of the way the guys in the stands. He's already determined that they can only do these 3 things. So he's moving at a faster rate than everybody else, not because of talent, not because of ability, because of brilliance. And when you watch him play, a lot of times his first step is different than everybody else. In football, we're taught at linebacker to take a 6-inch step, so it's called a read step, so you can kind of see what's going on. He didn't need that a lot of times because he knew when that running back went this way and that guard did this, he could take a full step and be at the point of attack and disrupt it because he knew what was going to happen. And I was able to learn from him. Unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt at the end of that year, and my season, my football career ended up ending a couple of years later. But I wish I would have learned that at the beginning of my career. I think I would have been a lot better. And I didn't get to use it in football, but I definitely use it in every aspect of my life. When I approach business deals and I approach decisions at work, I want to make sure I eliminate every negative situation that can happen. And what I've done is made my team smarter, made the people around me better, and we can react and we can move faster. So I wasn't able to apply it to football, but I'm able to apply it to every day of my life and in my career. And it's because he took the time and sat me down and explained it to me. I don't know, like he didn't have to do it. He said, "Hey, Twan, come meet with me." We met that morning, we met that afternoon, and he blew my mind. I had just never knew that you can process the game that way. And what I saw watching, an hour or 2 of film every day, he would be watching as much film as the coaches. The coaches are walking out. Even when I was working with the Dolphins outside of football, Zach would be leaving the office very similar times that the coaches were leaving the office. He was getting there in the dark and leaving in the dark. And that taught me some very good lessons, that if you want to be great, you have to give up your life to be great. And he gave up his life while he was playing football in that film room so that he can be one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game. And I want to be there when he's talking about how he played for his family and how he was able to play and give it his all because I watched it. I want to be able to say I was there, not just for him playing, but there when he got his flowers, his bus in Canton.
And Twan, it's funny. I think ZT likes me more than you because when he got hurt, when I was there, Twan, he didn't even let me sit in the meeting room with him. He just walked up on Wednesday morning and he threw me a 3-ring binder packed
you the
tight,
note. Yeah, he did
full
that.
of all his notes he took on every single lineman, every single receiver, every single running back. So he didn't even make me do the hard part. He liked me enough where he just threw me the binder and said, "Here you go, Crowder.
No,
See
I
what you
think
can do with
he
it."
liked me more. I think he liked me more because he gave me 2 years of that binder. He gave me he broke down the year before and he gave me the year that we're in. So he gave me 2 years. So maybe he likes me more.
And Twan, it's and this is a funny question. This is a old ex-player question. At what point throughout your, because you were with Zach from 2000 to 2002, you were there 3 years with Zach. At what point through the 3 years did it take you to say, I am never going to be as good as him? Because it took me about 6 games, bro. With Junior, Zach, and Jason, I had to sit in my living room probably about game 7 of my rookie year, and I was like, yeah, I'm never going to be these 3 guys.
Well, I figured that out before I got there because we were when I was before I was drafted. I remember watching. I think he was drafted a year before me. I remember watching. It's like, man, the Dolphins are definitely going to take me. They took him. So, and the following year, I'm watching him move on the football field. I said, all right, I can do that. And I got in the league in '97. I'm like, that dude better than me. So when I got to the Dolphins, I had great respect for him. I wanted to glean from him. I wanted to take everything he had. I wanted to get it from him. And I mean, he is a phenomenal man. The humility that he approaches the game. I mean, think about how talented he is and the humility that he approaches the game. You wouldn't even know it half the time. He's not an arrogant person at all. Now, you get him going. He can get going with the best of them, but he approaches the game humbly from a standpoint. At least my opinion, I think he approaches the game. He's not good enough, and he needs every single thing to be better. But in fact, he was better than everybody else, and he felt he needed to get better. So that's what made him great.
Crowder's told the stories over and over about how much, and you just said it too, about how much film he would watch and how many notes he would take. Was he the hardest off the field worker that you had ever encountered?
By far. I mean, in the film room, by far. I mean, physically in weight room, he worked hard. I mean, I think I've seen some guys, you know, like when I was the Redskins, I remember watching Marcus Patton, who's a linebacker. I mean, that guy lived in the weight room, right? So I've seen guys physically do it at a high level, but Zach physically worked hard. I wouldn't say he was at Marcus Patton, but he did too much film work to be working out. I mean, he would get there and sometimes before the coaches and leave there at the same time the coaches are leaving. You know, Monday and Tuesday, he's putting in work. He's putting in real work to make sure that he can analyze that game. And he has it in his mind. He's breaking it down. I've seen him come with his notes and say, hey, coach, this is what I saw. What do you think about what I'm looking at? And they're talking at a different level, a different frequency than a lot of players. He's giving recommendations and suggestions, and that coach is not saying, thank you very much. He's like, oh, yeah, you saw that? What play did you see that on? Give me the number, give me the reference. So he's coaching the coaches sometimes. And that's what the great ones do. And he just played at a different frequency than most people.
And Twan, I'm with you there. I saw him with Paul Pasqualoni in a Monday install of the defense, and I'm talking about we're well into the season, and he throws his defense up on the board, Twan. And like you're saying, that made me think of when you say they talk at a different frequency, because then Zach looks and raises his hand. Hawk, I'll tell you this, people don't raise their hand in meeting rooms when the defensive coordinator's talking. You just listen. Zach raised his hand, and he went on this tirade, Twan. I did not know what language he was speaking, but he said, oh, no, what if they come out in wah-wah wing twin threats, but in a motion of zigzag motion, and then we're effed. We're effed on the backside. And had the whole coaching staff look at the board and have them all say, we'll get back to y'all after practice on this. Because they didn't have an answer for what Zach saw, that these 17 people could not figure out what Zach saw as soon as that damn board came up, soon as the defense came up. Everybody in that room has never thought of what Zach saw when it flipped up there.
Well, he had put in more time than those coaches by that time. I mean, it's Monday and Tuesday. He's putting in 20 hours already. Those coaches are still breaking down stuff. He's already analyzed it, figured out, and compared it to previous years. I heard once say that he had binders from every year that he played football, and he would compare notes on quarterbacks and running backs and offensive linemen, as they changed teams, as they evolved, and he would compare them from their early years to his later years. I don't remember having enough time to do that. I really don't. Like when I sat with him that one time, and I was able to do it a couple of times. I tried to run with him a little bit. It only lasted for about a day because I was married. I had kids. But I mean, he went hard. And the one thing I know about him, whatever he gives his heart to, he gives it all to it. And I know one thing I love about him, he's a great family man. He's a great husband. I know that he is working as hard in his house as he's working on that football field. I can see the way his kids stand next to him and look at him that he's daddy. You know what I mean? There's no debate who he is because you know the man. You know what he stands for. He's either in or he's out. I asked him to do something one time. He says, Twan, I would love to do it because you asked, but I'm not going to give my heart. I'd rather wait until I have the opportunity to be all in. I can respect that answer. Because, he wants to be the best at whatever he does, whether it's a business decision, whether it's his home, his marriage, or whether it's football. And those are the type of people that you want to be sitting in the stands when they're giving their flowers. I'm so excited that I'm going to be up in Canton, me and my wife, in that hot sun burning up to watch him first. I'm not gonna be there alone though. Right? When he's done,
that's what I was gonna ask you. Are you gonna jet? Are you gonna jet right after he's done speaking?
I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna watch
the entire ceremony, every single speech.
If everybody stays to their 15 to 30 minutes, I think I can do it. But if they start going 45 minutes into an hour, I mean, my wife can only handle so much. So, I might leave because she want to leave.
Hey, Twan, your wife can ride with me in Asia because we out of there. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, baby.
Hey.
What you? I don't know those other four guys. I know Zach.
I'm here for a good time. Crowder, do you know where that saying comes from?
I got it from Drake.
I'm assuming it was like a bumper sticker on a truck in the 70s.
Twan, you're going to be the only person sitting there on person 4 that Zach knows. Everybody's gone, Twan.
Hey, I'm going to let you know, man. I've been married 25 years. When my wife says it's time to go, I'm right behind her.
It's time to go.